What's going on, YouTube fam? This is the ghost who knows the most, the ghost named Greg. Today's video, we're going to be getting into a little bit of the wrestling that went on over the week. My thoughts going into wrestling going for the future, as much as even diving into a little bit of football talk. So make sure you guys stay tuned and check out what I got to say. In case you really haven't been paying attention to what's been going on in the scene of wrestling lately, last Wednesday night we had probably one of the best nights of wrestling that I can even speak of. We had what we seen in probably the best women's match of probably 2021, which I'm going to get to a little bit later, but let's talk into a little bit of what I've seen over the course of wrestling over Monday through Friday. And I'm going to even get into a little bit of the NXT stuff I was checking out too. So first thing I want to say is Monday Night Raw doesn't have a goddamn clue of what they're doing. Monday Night Raw is about as clueless as me trying to find a female companion to run the rest of my life with. It's that bad. You think about all the things that were really been going on in WWE and all the talent they have, the fact that they can't use anyone properly, it's literally disheartening. Oh, that doesn't even include Aleister Black as well. Don't forget him, you know, the guy who's been dealing with like the most creative struggle since he came over from NXT, and the guy just now is getting out of his contract. Hopefully we see him in AEW along with Zelina Vega as well, or known as Tria Trinidad. It's depressing. It's anything under the sun that's just bad with the professional wrestling business. Recently we got Andrade Cien Almas, who's also looking to try to get out of his WWE contract because obviously WWE doesn't know how to use talent. Two phenomenal wrestlers, a great couple who should be seen more on another stage, and I hope to see something like that in AEW for them in the future for sure. But then you segue from Monday night into Tuesday. We got the huge thing coming out of Impact with their collaboration still with AEW, with the entire Impact Wrestling Championship versus the AEW Championship match at Road for Rebellion, I believe it was. Insane. Rich Swann versus Kenny Omega. It's going to tear the goddamn roof down. But at the same time, during that time span, because that's going to be a little while away, what's Moose going to have to say after his loss for this Impact and TNA title against Rich Swann at the last pay-per-view they had? I don't know. I'm recently just getting into Impact Wrestling, so it's really neat to see how all these things are kind of coming alive, and just the collaboration between two companies are just what I love to see the most. What's better than wrestling? More wrestling. And you're getting some of the best wrestlers that people may not be seeing over in New Japan, or people be seeing in Impact Wrestling, but they're being introduced to people who are on AEW, and AEW is being introduced to people who don't know about them on Impact. It's just a great thing to see. Wrestling is in a beautiful spot, and that doesn't even include a lot of the other really cool stuff the TNA is doing as well. I'm really down, and I know they're getting a lot of flack for it, but for the Brian Myers, Matt Cardona, I think that's going to be a phenomenal feud. You guys always seen them as a tag team. It's going to be really cool to see them as an actual feud. So make sure you guys tune in to Impact Tuesday nights on twitch.tv is where I've been tuning into it. But whatever is more convenient for you, but make sure you don't miss out on any of that good wrestling. Then that brings us to Wednesday nights. Oh, and even between NXT and AEW, it's really hard to decipher what two you really want to watch. However, after WrestleMania, rumor has NXT will be moving to Tuesday nights, which is they're going to be competing with Impact, which is unfortunate, but I still feel that Impact's going to have a decent following because they're doing some really good stuff. And plus, you never know what AEW star may show up there. There was a rumor that Sammy Guevara was going to come and win the X Division title, and how interesting that would have been, bringing that title over to AEW. I mean, interesting. It for sure piques your interest, and it's what keeps people probably watching twitch.tv/Impact Wrestling just to see what's really going on. And then you get into the whole NXT AEW thing. NXT is doing phenomenal work right now. Right now, they got one of my favorite feuds from Ring of Honor, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. I'm really looking forward to see how WWE kind of interprets that. I know a lot of the matches I've seen from him in Ring of Honor, it was really hard hitting. And really back and forth, and you really couldn't go either way with having Kyle take away the W, or Kyle or Adam taking away the W, because one, they're both sensational talents that should be pushed to the moon, and two, they know how to work, and they will really show people how good they are coming up on their Stand and Deliver on Sunday. And that brings you to the greatest wrestling known to man, AEW, All Elite Wrestling. And the reason why it is called All Elite Wrestling, because, well, it's all elite. It's the best wrestling you're going to watch on TV. And TNT gives it to you every Wednesday night for free at 7 p.m. And they're only proving it more and more every day. We're building up people like Adam Cole, who just beat Matt Hardy to take all of his first half 2021 earnings, which is always interesting. And it just seeing his storyline and where he fell from where he was becoming a guy who had a lot of talent with the Elite, and then kind of fell off a little bit after he lost to Jericho, and how he's kind of building himself back up after being in a tag team with Kenny Omega, and that whole thing fizzling out. It's just really awesome to see. And his future is so bright, and it's going to be so great. I cannot wait for any second of it. And then that brings you on to the match that needs to be seen. And I want to emphasize match that needs to be seen, because if you guys aren't paying attention to this match, I don't know what's really wrong with you. Whether you like wrestling or you don't like wrestling, you need to at least go and peep this match, because it was literally that good. And the best part about it, it was from a girl from the Berg. So Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa in a lights out unsanctioned match. I just watch it, folks. You'll never see two women ever compete like that. I don't know. You probably will in AEW, but that well, I don't think I've ever will see it. Or at least be like the first time. It was my first time seeing one of the hardest, most brutal women's match I've ever seen in my life. Something that I can only picture myself playing in like a SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, 2008 match or something like that. And they won't even let you do any hardcore matches or anything like that. So it was really cool to see these two girls just go out and show girls, hey, we can do it too. It's not just guys that can do hardcore wrestling. Though, I mean, I know it's probably kind of a fucked up thing for me to say, but as brutal as it was like a feel good moment. It's like, look, they're breaking barriers for women out there. And that's what I'm all for. Like, I'd be lying if I told you I didn't get emotional when the entire Sasha Banks and Bayley thing went down. I was very emotional about that. I thought that was like very cool for women who never really got to experience anything that main event, and it was good to see those two women go out there and leave it all out there and probably have one of the best women matches ever. I'm not saying that Britt Baker Thunder Rosa was better than Bayley Sasha Banks at TakeOver, but guys, it was close. It was close. I mean, as far as like a hardcore match, it was definitely one of the best hardcore wrestling matches for women, at least one that we've seen televised on live TV. And just go watch it. Gives you into the Friday night SmackDown. Friday nights, baby. Where you got the returning Edge coming, and he's going after Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, which riddle me if I'm wrong, Batman, but wasn't it whenever you won the Royal Rumble, weren't you the main event at WrestleMania? Just asking for a friend. But anyways, so if you want to get serious about it, though, you are having Edge versus Roman Reigns, which is going to be a phenomenal match. But it could all change, because Roman Reigns is going against Daniel Bryan at Fastlane for the WWE Universal Championship. Again, it's really hard for me to get behind any WWE programming, but SmackDown has been the one program that if you're trying to watch anything that's WWE related, probably the best thing. Too many promos, and the matches aren't the greatest unless you're including Big E and anything. But you got that to look forward to. Plus, you got a little Edge came out to wrestle Jey Uso that night. It was, from what I seen, was really good. Edge looks like he hasn't missed a beat. I mean, but then again, he probably showed everyone that at the Royal Rumble as well. and it's just really exciting to see Edge back. It's really exciting to see him going